Hello YouTube, my name is RFDS and welcome back. Technically speaking is welcome back to the E3 predictions video. And yes, E3 is still quite a long ways away. It's now today, the day of this recording, the 14th of March, and E3 happens in June. So basically we are 3 months away. And you might be saying, wait, that's too soon for E3. Not soon, too far away. It's too early for E3. Well, I like to do these predictions videos when there's not a lot of information out there or a lot of stuff out there. There already are rumors that kind of will impact E3 in a tremendous way, especially what might happen next week during GDC. So that's why I'm making this video now. I always like to do it early just so that we don't have a lot of things, a lot of rumors and leaks already going on. First things first, I like to apologize if there's noise coming from outside. I don't think right now. I think I waited just long enough, or they're moving away from my house where you don't exactly listen to them cutting grass. I think you can still listen a little bit to it, but probably like with the music going on right now, you won't be hearing it. But hey, maybe it will still be up there. Another thing. Right now on the channel we are 213 subscribers. Maybe by tomorrow that will change. Maybe we'll be having less, maybe we'll have more, I don't know. It fluctuates one way or another, but that doesn't matter. But as I said in I believe the Can They Be DLC for the Legend of Zelda series, I'll be doing a 200 when we hit 250 subscribers. I'll be doing I'll be doing a giveaway. Right now, and I said this then, I'll say this now, card subject to change. Right now I might be doing a giveaway for the Nintendo online service, year subscription, but again, card subject to change. It could change until then, but anyway, let's get on to the video, and it's the E3 predictions. So first things first, predictions from here until E3. So next week it's the GDC, it's the Game Developers Conference, where Google is all but confirmed will be announcing their own gaming device. I believe it will be more of a streaming device, but they will also bring in a console. It's good to remember and good to talk about this, and it's a very important thing, I think, to talk about it, is that a lot of companies are going into the streaming devices and streaming things. And that's the thing regarding GDC that I also want to talk about, is because of Game Pass and stuff like that. You might wonder why they're why would Google announce a console if they're going streaming? It's easy. It's not really easy, but it's easy to figure out. Gaming is not like other mediums where, you know, you can read a book online, for example, and there's no problem if there's a little bit of lag when you're going up, or when there's a little bit of lag. When there's a little bit of lag on, not music, on movies, and technically speaking, music as well. It's bad, but like sometimes it's not even noticeable that there's lag. Gaming is different, where it's an interactive medium, so the lag would hurt it. And we are not really sure if this will truly be the future, and it won't be completely the future. Streaming devices for television and for movies has been going around for a better part of a decade now, and big blockbuster movies and big TV shows still happen on regular TV, still happen in theaters, and physical media still exists for it, so gaming will very much be like that. Another thing that's very interesting to talk about is the recent rumor about Sony trying to buy Take-Two. I think that will be a bad thing for gaming as a whole, mostly because first things first, it will be terrible for Sony. Yeah, it's a big buyout, but how much money would Sony have to spend on it? Then it would just reinforce what Microsoft allegedly once tried to do, which was buy EA. And hey, Sony buys Take-Two, congratulations, you got GTA 5 and you got GTA and Red Dead exclusive to your system, alongside basketball with 2K, NBA 2K, and I believe the WWE games as well, and Borderlands and all that stuff. But you then cannot enter a bidding war with Microsoft or Google to buy companies like EA and Bethesda and all that stuff. I'm not even too sure if you could afford to buy Take-Two and then continue on your merry way like nothing changed. So yeah, that's why I think it will be bad for gaming. It will be first bad for Sony, because I don't think they would have a lot of money to go after, to keep going, afterwards, and obviously because then like Take-Two is great because you can own Rockstar, but like Rockstar has pumped out 2 games this decade. It's not even a joke. Since 2010 they released 2 games. Not The Last of Us, GTA 5 in 2013 and Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2018. And GTA 5 didn't get single player DLC or even major expansions and DLCs. So it was basically they worked on 2 games in a decade, which is not a lot. But because of the Game Developers Conference, we might be finally hearing about confirmations, getting a confirmation that Microsoft is indeed bringing Game Pass to the Nintendo Switch and to other devices. If they do announce it with xCloud also coming, then basically confirms that Microsoft is going third party. I know people say, oh, it's not going third party, they're just the Game Pass. It's their own app. They already, technically speaking, are a third party company with Ninja Theories, Hellblade, not Hellblade, I forget the name of it. Sesuna's Blade, I think, or whatever. I feel bad for not knowing it. And Minecraft. There already are the rumors flowing around, not only of that, of Microsoft bringing Game Pass, but bringing in 3 ports to the Switch with Cuphead, Ori. I don't think it's been mentioned if it's Ori and the Blind Forest or the newest Ori coming out. Super Lucky Star has also been rumored before, and one of the big 3 for Microsoft also being ported to Switch, which would be either Halo, Gears of War, or Forza. If they're going to port one of these 3, it should probably be Halo, probably the Master Chief Collection. The Master Chief Collection is now coming to PC, so they're obviously still working on that. So maybe we'll see that on Switch. It'll be interesting to see. Another thing that might be happening, not at the Games Developers Conference, but I believe tomorrow or today, the day that this video is going to go up, is the Monster Hunter anniversary. I think it happens on March 15th, which will be the day of this going up. And if that's the case, KingsL, a guy that has an unbelievable track record of talking, he's one of the guys that talks when he has to talk and doesn't like announce things and like break through a bunch of shit. He says what he has to say. He leaves hints. He doesn't say this is happening, but he has a pretty good track record. Every time there's a direct, he basically nails the date. So I'm more willing to believe what he said than others, but I still take it with a huge grain of salt. There is a Monster Hunter game in development for the Nintendo Switch, so that probably will be announced at the Monster Hunter Celebration. Now the Monster Hunter Celebration and now happening, or the Monster Hunter game coming to Switch is a no-brainer. Exclusive, also a no-brainer kind of. It's a game that now after Monster Hunter World can do a clean 8 to 9 million or even 10 million on Switch alone. It's good to remember that Monster Hunter 4 sold, I think, like 4 million, and then 4 Ultimate sold another 4 million in Japan only, and then Monster Hunter Generations or Double Cross or Ultimate Generations did 1 million in the West, and that was a port of a 3DS game. That was a late localization of a late port of a 3DS expansion pack of an old 3DS game, and it did 1 million in the West, which is incredible numbers. I don't think any Monster Hunter games in the West did that type of number without being a big game. So Monster Hunter, probably 5 if it is coming, but I'm not expecting it because it's Capcom, and the way they've been treating Switch and Switch owners is not that good. Then we get to the actual Nintendo prediction. So I'm predicting a couple things will happen. We will be having a direct before E3. I can almost guarantee you, because Mario Maker doesn't have a release date. Three Houses has a release date. Astral Chain has a release date. Super Mario Maker 2 doesn't have a release date. It just has June, and that's not a release date. I mean, it is a release date. Technically speaking, it's a release date, but it's not a release date. Come on. Release date would be June 3rd or June 4th, an actual day. What we have is a launch window, which is June. So I would be kind of miffled if we didn't have either a general Nintendo Direct or a Mario Maker Direct. I'm also able to see like maybe a Smash Direct. The 3.0 data mines are true, and we are getting Stage Builder and the Break the Targets not break targets, a home run contest coming. Then we might get other things coming as well, so I wouldn't be shocked if they announced Smash Direct with the announcement and the release of Joker, with then the announcement of the next DLC character, which probably would be Herdrick from Dragon Quest. But it would be cool to see, and maybe they may even explaining like some of the spirits and the stage for Joker and Persona. Would be interesting to see, and a Direct fits that with the game mode and then like the Dragon Quest things coming at the later half, much like the Nintendo Direct, the final Smash Direct for Smash 4 in December, where they talked about Cloud a little bit, and they showed Corrin, then Cloud, then Bayo, and Corrin and Bayonetta were launched months afterwards. And the same way, kind of like April 2015, where they announced the release of Mewtwo 2 weeks later or a month later, basically, to the people that didn't, for people that own both versions will be the 15th and then the 30th for people that didn't own, that only bought, they could be one version they could buy Mewtwo at their own as a single standalone character. They announced that at April 1st, and then 2 months later they released Lucas when it was announced also in this Direct. So that seems likely that they could do. Another thing that could be happening, and I'm expecting it to actually, is a Fire Emblem Direct, maybe in May, or at very least a huge Fire Emblem information dump happening in May with the Fire Emblem, not Direct, event that's happening in Japan. I think it's an expo happening in May. Also the Nintendo Direct in April, I think it's gonna happen a general Direct, because like we've been hearing, I believe it's like at the early April we'll be hearing about Persona, because of the Persona concert or Persona event that's happening in Japan. I believe that's happening, and we're probably going to be hearing more about Persona games, and probably Persona coming to Switch and Persona 5R that's coming to PS4. So I wouldn't be too shocked if that in fact happen. Now at E3, I'm expecting kind of three things. I'm expecting another Smash Invitational or a Smash Tournament to happen at E3, maybe with the announcement of a brand new character, because hey, live audience is always going to be hype, or the character being announced in another thing. Well, also the release of Herdrick and be promotional for that there. Also a Splatoon 2 tournament. They did it last year. I think they'll be doing this year. And maybe the return of the Nintendo World Championships. They did one in 2015, then they did it in 2017. So it feels about right that we'll do another one in 2019. Maybe at E3, and maybe like with Mario Maker being the big ender of it, like the 2015 one had. Then we reached the actual Nintendo event at E3. Now this year, I'm not expecting it to be a spotlight like previous years. Although I could see them making a spotlight maybe for Animal Crossing, I don't think a lot of games that are announced right now have, which would be the big spotlight, because the spotlight event is always, or the spotlight is always on an already announced game that's going to be the biggest game of the year. And I do think the Animal Crossing and Pokemon could literally take that role. I'm not expecting it to, because neither feel like they're big franchises, but neither I feel could bring in the type of hype that Mario Maker or Zelda brought, or Smash Bros brought in the past 3 years with spotlight events. But they will all be there, and I think it will be a regular Direct. So what I'm expecting it is obviously the games that are going to be showing up is, we just mentioned 3, we haven't seen it since September. I think we're going to be hearing about it during this Direct. Obviously we will. With an October release date, it feels right for it. Halloween and all that stuff. Town will be another one to showcase. I think that will be a smaller eShop only title that could release like in August, between Fire Emblem Three Houses and Astral Chain, we have like it's a month, it's a clean month, so they can put Town in the middle of that. Town was like a smaller title, so it could work very well in that role. Animal Crossing, obviously, to get a release date, I'm guessing September, right around mid-September to late September. It feels right. Not too close to Pokemon, you know, and not the December game. I feel the December game is going to be something else, and it feels like in that time period is good. If they could have done it earlier, that would have been great, but I think that time period fits it very well. Then obviously Pokemon Sword and Shield with the November release date. The rumors right now seem to be true that Nintendo will be adding, or Game Freak will be adding a Pokemon, armored Pokemon mechanic to the games. So mechanics, if that's not announced before, because I think like in May we're going to be getting a Pokemon trailer around the time that Detective Pikachu the movie launches. And I feel like we will be having the announcement of the legendaries, like the box art legendary, and then armored Pokemon to be announced at E3. At E3 2013, for X and Y, they announced the new types of the fairy type. And then later on they announced Mega Pokemon. And unless they're announcing a new type, they're not going to be doing that. Then they're going to be, which would be here. If they're not doing that, then Pokemon, armored Pokemon would be the obvious choice. As a big thing for E3, bringing in the hype. Then The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. I'm expecting it to have a release date of December, be the December title, taking the role of Xenoblade and Smash Bros. It fits. It's and it's like the smaller game, kind of like of the tail end of the year. Between that Pokemon, between that Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion 3 and Sword and Shield, it does feel like the smaller title, but it's still gonna sell a whole lot of units. Astral Chain, I'm expecting also to get a big trailer, which then would lead into kind of a Bayo 3 teaser just to showcase everything, to say like, oh, here's Bayo 3. I'm also expecting like a reminder for Three Houses, Mario Maker, and the Smash DLC, because, you know, they have to promote those things, like a quick trailer for Three Houses and Mario Maker, and a Smash like, oh, don't forget, Herdrick and Joker already out, and insert character here's coming soon, or even like, here's some Mii costumes, and that's how they could do it. Not again, for going back to Bayo, I don't think it's just going to be a Bayo teaser, maybe like the first footage of Bayo with a 2020 description, because like Nintendo has been doing that for the last couple of years. At E3 they showcase a little bit of games coming in the future, or the near future, like the early half of the next year. That was the original plan for Yoshi and Kirby. Kirby came out in early 2018, but not Yoshi. So it feels right about right. Maybe we'll see what Retro was working on before being given Metroid Prime 4. I feel like we're gonna hear about that game this year. If it's in fact true, I feel it has to be. It will be weird if they went, you guys can't work on your own game. You guys have been having troubles for the past 5 years. So here's Metroid Prime, a game that had its own issues. It doesn't feel right, because Nintendo most likely wants to make at the very least some money back from the development of Prime 4. So it feels like they would, Retro is probably worked on something, and if it's not coming out this year, it will be early 2020. It could also be like a game where now the smaller team of Retro is in fact working on it. Then I'm also expecting maybe one more Wii U port. Between then and now, I'm expecting like maybe a Wii U port to come out. Pikmin 3 was the one that was rumored. I would love to see Tokyo Mirage Sessions or Wonderful 101 be ported. Both of them deserve a second chance on a system that's selling well, which the Switch is. Tokyo Mirage Sessions would definitely benefit from not only Fire Emblem being bigger, getting bigger every year, and the fact that Persona 5 was big. And I remember when that game came out, a lot of people say that like this is supposed to be a Shin Megami Tensei cross Fire Emblem game, and it feels much more like a Persona cross Fire Emblem than anything. But still, I'm expecting a Wii U port, or maybe a remake of some sort. I'm expecting another third-party collaboration. We have seen that a lot floating around and done. I don't know if we'll see it from Ubisoft. I think it's too soon for Mario Rabbids 2. We could see something. I don't know what could it be, but I'm expecting some type of third-party collaboration, like third-party taking a Nintendo property and making it something else. Maybe we'll see F-Zero being made that way. It'll be interesting to see. Then also we could see like a montage of third-party games. We could also, I think we'll be seeing like some sort of Mario, or not just Mario, but like a Mario spin-off or a Splatoon spin-off or even maybe a Pokemon spin-off with maybe the Pokemon spin-off could be free to play. I'm expecting a spin-off, and I think Mario, Pokemon, and Splatoon feel like the right choices. Splatoon is a big franchise now for Nintendo. It could literally use a new spin-off game, and we don't have anything from Splatoon coming out. We haven't had anything new from Splatoon basically since the Octo expansion last year, so it doesn't have a game to this year or anything to be a part of basically. So it would feel right to have a spin-off, and you know, Nintendo would like to grow that franchise. Mario could also have a spin-off. Last year we had Mario Tennis and Mario Party. This year we have Mario Maker, but nothing else, and I feel like at the end of the year, like a Mario Strikers or a Mario Golf would feel right at home, and Pokemon always has spin-offs. I'm expecting Detective Pikachu HD, or the port from the 3DS version, to come out around the time the movie does, but we haven't heard anything from it. But they could, since it's a port, they could literally just announce it at the end of this month or early next month in like in a direct, and boom, it can release and be fine with it. And I guess that'll be it, except for one thing that I wanted to mention. We'll be hearing probably about the Microsoft ports if they are a thing. If you don't hear them at GDC, we will hear them at E3 at Microsoft's press event. Along with something else that I'll leave it for my next Can They Be DLC footage video. But I'm expecting, the final thing I'm expecting for this direct, it to be one of two things: either a major 2020 announcement, like a brand new game in a brand new series or something like that. I'm expecting also I could see some brand new IP show up, but the one thing I'm expecting kinda to show up is like a teaser for Metroid Prime 4, just to retros to showcase a little bit of what they've been working on and where the idea is going forward. I know it sounds like, oh, we haven't had anything. That doesn't sound likely, and I don't believe it's 100% likely. I just think it would be the perfect opportunity to showcase something from Retro Studios after we know what happened at the at the start of the year, like 2 months ago. And after 6 months, they already had a demo ready. So maybe they could show us something just to appease the fans and say like, here's our idea. And tell people like, this is early. This is just what we right now are planning. This could change a lot, but this is what right now the idea is. Just to show the fans something and prove that they have, not to prove they have confidence, obviously they have confidence in Retro, but to reinforce the confidence they have in Retro Studios. But I guess that'll be it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me in the comment section, what do you think will happen between now and E3, and what do you think will happen at E3? Be it world titles, world championships, tournaments, and the games you expect to see in the Nintendo showcase at E3. If they showcase like a Mario spin-off, what are your or a spin-off in general, what franchise would you expect a spin-off of? And if it is Mario, what spin-off would you expect? Same thing with Pokemon, because I forgot to say, like, I think if the Pokemon does get a spin-off and it's not free to play, it's either Super Mystery Dungeon or Pokemon Ranger. Pokemon Ranger feels like it's about time. Or Super Mystery Dungeon. We haven't had a Mystery Dungeon for years. And yeah, do you think it will be too soon to showcase Metroid Prime 4? But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I've been the Legend of DS. See you guys next time.